Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Four Idiots. We got the best bet edition round of 64. Here with me is Joey. You know him at DGen for Life 84. Good old Chris himself at Hazmat Suit 23. And our special guest today, Dave from Picks from Dave. I've been on his show once. Too busy. Want to get on it again. But Chris and Dave, nerd and turd. So kind of got a special edition here. We're just going to go over our best bets. I don't know how long it's going to take. Hopefully 20, 30 minutes. But I guess we can go, with tonight's game, Nevada and Arizona State, since, we still got an hour and a half before it tips. If anyone's got action on that.
I do not.
Dave,
Not
anything?
yet.
I will. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to find. I bet a ton more games than I give out or put out on Twitter. And I get.
Right.
It doesn't take me a lot to be convinced, but that's a game that I have nothing pre-flop. So
Fair enough. And yeah, I mean, I kind of do a system which is I don't even really know what the hell it is. Just a bunch of numbers. I think I'm on the spectrum a little bit, but it leans to Nevada. So I got them at +3 when I saw a tick up there the other day. Bought more today at 2.5. I posted at 2 because that's what the line was, but I don't even have Nevada +2. So
I've seen a bunch of
Nevada
tickets. I know a bunch of really good handicappers that we know are on Nevada
it
tonight.
seems like sharps have come on. It seems like where it was like 20% on bets and tickets for the most of the week. Now today it's like 20 and 50. So it seems like a lot of money's been pouring in on Nevada today, but yet the line goes from 2 to 2.5. So
I think Arizona's lucky to. I think Arizona's lucky to be here. They benefited from a half-court shot and a good game against USC. So I definitely lean towards Nevada. I just didn't make a bet on it, but
I mean, Nevada's losers of 3 in a row. Arizona State had to, as you said, kind of play their asses off, get some luck in there to even get in.
They hit that half-court shot to beat Zona.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm going off on first. But yeah, let's get to tomorrow, Thursday, round of 64. Who wants to lead us off?
Let Dave start. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, you're a guest.
So what's going on tomorrow? I just kind of looked at all the games and lumped them in. Let me get the list up. That's NIT. I have NIT bets tonight. No tournament bets. I like Oregon first half. Okay. Well, we could talk about.
I'm sure some people want to hear some NIT stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's my deal. I'm not a blue chip type of guy. I mean, I'll bet the games, but I try to find the value. That's why college basketball is a good sport for me and for others. That's why MLB is. People that say, "Oh, I'm an NFL capper and I'm 70% lifetime," and blah. No, you're not. It's the sharpest lines, and a lot of these big games are really sharp. But that's why I think the NIT has some spots. But I'm going with a chalky favorite. I think Oregon's a really good team. So I took them first half because I looked to see their last about 5 games. They kind of fall apart in the second half. So
yeah. I think a lot of us like that side tonight. NIT is tough because you just don't know who actually wants to be there.
That's my biggest issue with it.
Who's going to try? I mean, that's what happened with Nova last night. I mean, they had 2 starters sit because they don't care.
That game killed me. So it should have been Nova's game. That 1.5 points they didn't cover by. But here's the deal: they went 4 from 26 for 3, and they kept shooting. Jay Wright would have smacked the shit out of them. So that game was a Nova spot. I smashed it. I had 3 units on it. I was horrified. Stop shooting threes. And when they got it down to that big guy down in the post, he was making shots.
Yeah.
I didn't watch much of the game. I watched the last couple minutes. I saw they had a chance for like the backdoor cover with that 3, and he missed it. I didn't have an opinion on that game last night.
Yeah, but tomorrow,
Oregon's good. Oregon's a good team, man. I mean, we've backed. I know us at Fade You. We've backed Oregon a couple times this year. I think we've been pretty successful with them. I mean, when they're at home, I can't stand watching them. That court is absolutely awful. It's like you're playing in like the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
But But yeah, Oregon's definitely been profitable on my end. That's the only way I would lean in that game too. But it is NIT. It's not something I'm looking to get involved in.
How many bets do you guys have between Thursday and Friday that you're gonna give out?
I have three plus a best bet.
Okay.
I have 6. I can talk about 6 that I really like. 3 for tomorrow and 3 for Friday.
Cool. Let's get another one going, Dave.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll just start with the one I like the most, and that's Penn State over Texas A&M. I never thought I'd say this, but you look at the run that Penn State's on. They almost beat Purdue. I got them at 15.5 in that game. I slammed that twice live. Real profitable game. But when you actually look at who these teams have played and beaten, so I can get it up. There's more. So they lost to Purdue. Penn State. But they beat Indiana. They beat Northwestern. They beat Illinois. They beat Maryland. They beat Northwestern. Is that me? Sorry. ESPN. But anyways, the competition they've beaten, those are all tournament teams. If you go to Texas A&M, they lost to Alabama. And I know the SEC is really good. But for me, going into a tournament, I'm really looking for momentum. I index and do all this stuff in the beginning of the season. I kind of throw that out the window. And when I look at the chances for an upset by a 10 seed from a team that just played a number 1 seed really hard, and I look at Texas A&M, who's underachieved this season and hasn't quite played the same competition that Penn State has. I like Penn State, so I'm gonna hit them with the points, and I'm gonna sprinkle the money line.
I like that side too. I wasn't gonna give that one out, but I second it. I'm waiting for pretty much like the system I run. I'm trying to think of a better name because system makes it seem like trends or something like that. It's all based off line value, and I'm waiting for one more metric that won't come out until tomorrow. But I already got a heavy lean on Penn State, so if that matches up too, I'm probably gonna fire a few units on them.
Nice. Poop face, what do you got?
Nice. Well, it's funny because Kmart said, "Does anybody have anything tonight in that game?" And I said, "Not yet." And then 2 minutes later, my guy texts me. He's on Arizona State, so I will be on Nevada first half and game there.
Thank God.
If
I had to tell you I told you so twice in one day with Farley, how it's looking right now, I think I'd drive to Anaheim and slap you in the face.
Right. I guess I'll go with one that I asked you guys if it's cool if I do some first half. I think I'm going to do it this first half just because, I like to fade. It goes along with kind of like fade. I think why we like, I know Dave might like Memphis. I think why we kind of want to fade Memphis coming off the huge win over. But I'm going to fade Texas coming off that huge blowout win over Kansas. I'm going to take Colgate first half just because I think when we see it, we've seen it in the past. This coach is legit. He's got him. He's gone to a lot of turns, got a couple wins, played Wisconsin, probably should have beat Wisconsin a couple years ago. They lost by like 6. They still covered a big 13, whatever that spread was. I think it was closer to double digits. So I'll take that. Just in case they cool off. I know they rely on the shooting a little bit, but maybe they cool off in the second half like a lot of those higher seeds do. But, hey, we've had a 15 seed make it to the next round or even maybe the Sweet 16 for a couple years in a row. These 15 seeds are kind of alive, so we'll take that and go with Colgate first half.
Nice. Yeah, and I feel like you were saying something like that too the other day where Texas, we've seen them come out slow and then, they pick it up in the second half. So I might have to look into following that one from you.
I have another show partner, got Mike M, Pimp Slap Play of the Day. Real respected capper, real good capper. He likes Colgate. He put a bracket together. He puts multiple brackets together. I don't do that. I put one and I forget about it because it screws up my betting with a spread. But he likes Colgate in one of his Final Fours. So there you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
What drugs does he use?
I'm not sure. I don't know, but
Quaaludes.
he wrote me some stat about how many games they've won. If you look at their competition, they're absolute ass. But I wouldn't. First round.
Teams make runs. It happens.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go to the Mountain West. I mean it's ugly, but I mean I've been hearing all week how the Mountain West is like 2-18. What like has had the numbers. Poop sent me them earlier. Like the Mountain West has just been absolutely disastrous in tournament play. But I'm gonna go Utah State -1.5. Tweeted this out the other night when these lines came out. Huge fan of Ashworth. The kid is filthy. He's averaging 17 points a game, 5 assists, 45% from the 3-point line. He's made 253s this year. This team has 7 players who shoot above 35% from the 3-point line. Utah State could score 25-4 as a favorite this year, 6-2 on a neutral site, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8. This is a team I'm looking to back potentially further than just round 1. They have 3 kids. They have 3 kids on their team who have made over 150 3-pointers. I mean, Utah State could score, man. I don't care what the trends say. I don't care how bad the Mountain West is. This is a team I am backing. 7 wins in a row prior to losing to San Diego State the other night. They're no pushover. But yeah, I mean, they shot 37% from the floor in that game. Season low, only made 4 3-pointers. This is a team that averages 8 3-pointers a game. I expect them to shoot well above the 37% that they just shot, which was also a season low. So yeah, I'm on Utah State -1.5. I gave it out on Twitter the other night and giving it out again here. So yeah, that's it.
I like it.
I like it too. I'm not going to have anything to go over. It's kind of nice, but yeah, I mean, I agree. So, I mean, especially with that line coming down, it makes me like it more. Like
we talked about it immediately in our 4 idiot group chat.
Yeah, like to me, it's a slam play. Mountain West, I mean, call it what you want, but Utah State's strength of schedule has been pretty tough. It's probably just as strong, if not a little better than Missouri. So I mean, I think people can get caught up in the narrative of Mountain West.
Yeah, Missouri plays in the SEC. They play a better team. But I've heard it all. I've heard it all the last couple of days when I've told people I've been on Utah State. And to be quite honest with you, I don't really give a fuck. I think Utah State blows them the fuck out.
I mean, it could. I mean, they both play a similar
alt line from the cheese stir. Let's go.
I made Utah State -13.5.
Man. Oh my god! But I mean, it's kind of a battle of offense and defense. Missouri they both have really good offenses. Utah State with a slightly better defense. Tempo is similar, but Utah State, pretty effective in covering the 2 and 3. So that's
yeah. I think Ashworth is I think he's the difference maker here. The kid is filthy. He just it's like watching fucking. It's unbelievable. If you never watch Utah State play, do yourself a favor and watch them play tomorrow. This team's a fun team to watch.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I guess I'll go. I mean, why not just stick to the Mountain West? And Joey, I know you like this one too, but Boise State. And almost similar to what, we've already been talking about. I like their strength of schedule. I've been seeing everybody on Northwestern as well. Not that it matters to me, but again, I see a lot of line value here in a matchup that's, you could say it's relatively equal. Northwestern has, a very good, efficient defense, but I think Boise State just is battle tested. And again, we're going to go Mountain West, but I mean, when you got a strength of schedule, top 40, you're no slouch. And if you look at who they've beaten, they've taken San Diego State down, even Colorado State. They're not losing to terrible teams. They got blown up by Santa Clara, but it's going to happen through. Sorry, the kid's going nuts back here through a 35-game schedule.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tua two of Boise State's last 3 losses came to a team who I just talked about, Utah State, who are no slouches. They have an impressive win this year versus San Diego State, 66-60. I mean, for me, this was one of my other plays. This was Boise State, something I tweeted out the other night. I gave it out at -1.5, like expecting the line to go the other way. But I jumped back on it. And added more at +1.5 once everyone started backing Northwestern here. But something we talked about in our group chat, Northwestern struggles scoring. They've only broken 65 points once in their last 9 games. I think that's a major problem come tournament time, especially when you're playing a team that could score. Boise State could score. I don't. Northwestern shot under 40% from the field in 3 of their last 6 games. I mean, we've all seen their offensive struggles, and this is a team that I think is ready to go home, pack it in. I don't think Northwestern shows up.
My bank account hopes you're right.
Dude, I can't. We talked about immediately when the bracket came out Sunday night. We talked about it in the group. I mean, this team hasn't scored over 65 points. What like one time in their last 8 or 9, they've scored more than 65. Like, that's not a team I'm looking to back. You're not going to win knockdown, drag out games all fucking year like that.
Yeah. No, it definitely makes it tough. Guess anybody got anything else for Thursday's slate?
Yeah, I got 2 more I can give out.
Okay. Give them out.
I like Auburn over Iowa. The line zipped through 0. Some books had opened Iowa's the favorite. Now it's the other way. It's been bouncing around. And I think for good reason. One is Iowa is a team that should be better. They're frenetic. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're bad. I seem to always choose them when they're on a bad streak. So, for instance, they beat Indiana, but they lost to Nebraska. These are their last 4 games. They're just kind of all over the place. And with the team in Auburn who's having a down year, I love their coach, but they are having a down year. Granted, they just got rid of 2 guys that are starting in the NBA. The kid on the Jazz, the big center. I can't remember his name. Smith is one of them. Jabari Smith is one of them. He's on the Rockets, right? But that other kid on Utah, I don't even know who was drafted. Kessler. Anyway, just came off this team. So they're having a down year. But you'd think that a team that's only won 2 of its last 10 games, who made the tournament, wouldn't be a favorite over in Iowa. And they are. So there's a reason why. And I think it has to do with their experience and their culture. Auburn's made some deep runs the past few years in the tournament. They're there every year. Well-coached team. And like I said, Iowa is schizophrenic. So if Iowa should be, based on what I'm looking, like a 3 or 4 point favorite, and Auburn's the favorite. So that's going to be one of those WTF lines, and you take the other side.
Man, I am trying to get there to bet Auburn.
I used them in my bracket.
Yeah, I use them in my bracket too. I'm just trying. Like, I'm probably gonna end up betting them. But yeah, like, that's the side I like as well. Chris, you like Iowa? Can you make a case for Iowa, or you kind of side with Dave here?
Not the way that coach, man, is and I just heard today like that he has not made it to weekend 2 in that tournament in his entire. I think he's made like 10 or 12 tourneys. He hasn't got out of that first weekend. He just can't put some wins together. We know Pearl's a great coach, and he made a run a couple years ago. So I trust Pearl on that Auburn team to be a little more scrappy also.
Yeah, I agree. It's Auburn or nothing for me there. I don't know if I'll get to the window on it, but I used them in my bracket, so it tells you which way I lean. It's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah,
definitely. Chris, you got anything else for Thursday?
No, not particularly.
Yeah, right. I mean, you don't have any more.
What line? I don't know if you guys see. What line are you guys seeing? I know it kind of seems like a trendy dog, but it still smells. What I like is that I saw Virginia get up to 6.5 earlier today, and now I'm seeing 5.5 again. So I don't know if they're getting buyback or what, but I don't know. It'll.
It's a fun game to talk about. Dave, Kmart, anyone else have an opinion on Virginia Furman before I give mine?
Yeah, I would say I'm not looking at this game. I mean, but I don't know how you can bet it. It's just this is a hammer poop play. This is a turd play, not a nerd play.
I lean Virginia. Like if that, what's the current line? It's
You can
5?
get it at 5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it opened at. That's what I have it listed here. Yeah, if that goes down to 5 or even 4.5, I'm probably gonna snap call and play Virginia. Like right now, I got no action on it, but I do lean Virginia.
Like, I just don't understand how you don't play Virginia there, right? If you're playing this game. I know Duke's going to make a solid point for Furman here. I know the line definitely looks sketchy. I would expect Virginia to be 7.5-point favorites in this spot. So at 5.5, I think it's a play on Virginia. I don't know if I'm going to get to the window on it. We talked about it, made some jokes in the group chat about Virginia money line, blah, blah, blah. Obviously joking around. But I mean, Furman has played nobody like Virginia this season. This is a game where Virginia could come out and absolutely fucking embarrass them. Like, will they? Who knows? But like the level of competition here, it's like it's like high school kids versus like college kids. Virginia is a whole new beast that Furman hasn't seen. I mean, I think Virginia wins this.
More gross, right? Cheese. Why the fuck is it?
I mean, the line's disgusting, but I think Virginia wins this game by 15.
Like, how is it not 7.5, 8.5? I don't get it.
Yeah. And we talked about it on Twitter, dude. I was playing poker at Encore yesterday, 7-8 hours, and every single person I talked to is how Furman this, Furman that. It's got to be Furman. Look how crazy that line looks. Seems like everyone's trying to like find that. Everyone wants to be that guy now. Like, oh, this one looks so crazy. Let's play it. It's everywhere between all these fucking bums on Twitter with fucking Trent and all those fucking
like Wager Talk.
Yeah,
I see 77% of tickets and 67% of money on Furman. So that's
I mean, dude, you got all these guys on Twitter now talking about how all these lines look poopy. Let's take them crazy, like trying to be like our boy Has over here, and like these cats ain't doing it right. But talking people into taking bad sides, dude. Like Furman could. I don't care if Furman wins this game. You cannot tell me Furman is the right side here. You can't. You will not convince me of that.
No. Yeah, you won't convince me of it either. Well, what's the? Are you actually doing that money line play?
No.
6 units.
Yeah. No, joke around. I said, you can get Duke money line, Virginia money line parlayed at almost even money. It was $100 to make 93. So
well, why not tease them?
Yeah. Duke told me he already teased it. Said he was scared to text the group chat, but I'm blowing his spot up.
It's so funny that you say that. Like, I know we have a show, Chris and I, that's based on one of the sides is based on trying to find poop, but there are people that try too hard, and it's more of a diamond in the rough situation than let's try to be the guy that gets lucky and takes Charleston or takes, which I think is a sillier play, just in my opinion. That I think Chris might be on the other side, but or tries to take Colgate to go to the Final Four. Like, you're trying too hard, guy. Like,
totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, there's some this weekend that, and you have to be careful of it because it seems like March it's more amplified. Like it's you look and like all these people want to pick like this fairy tale dog, and then when it gets too trendy, then that's when you have to watch out for. That's why I'm really trying to sift through, and I think like some of the ones we've given out are kind of like that. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. When did it become cool to play Furman, whether it's the right side or not? Like, when did that become cool? 3 years ago, I would have seen, 60, 70 Virginia tickets on my timeline. Like, I haven't seen any. You know, I know a couple people have talked about it, but everything I'm seeing and hearing is firm in this, firm in that, everywhere.
Well, you want to be cool or you want to win money. Check this out. So people fill out their brackets. I posted my Final Four, and like I said, what I do with my bracket is I post it. I do one. I put it everywhere, and I forget about it because if I look back and I second guess myself, it screws up my betting. But look at the Final Four seeds the past few years. 2022 1-2-2-8, 2021 1-1-2-11, 2019 1-3-2-5, 2018 1-1-3-11. 2017 1-1-3-7. So it's three top 4, 3-2-3, and then one outlier every time. So it's still a tournament. I mean, it's a tournament where the good teams are going to win. So be careful with trying to guess who's going to be that.
The Final Four average, I think it was 13.6. Like you add up all the seeds.
Yeah,
I think it's 13.6. Like the last 8 or 10 seasons, whatever it is. So
Final Four,
something to go off. Yeah. I think it was 13.6. I saw it earlier.
The average seed for a Final Four team is a 13 seed?
No, if you add them all up.
Oh, add them all.
Yeah. Clearly not average.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. But I think that goes back like 8-10 seasons, so gives you some type of outlier, something to go by, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Cool. What do we got for Friday? Anyone got best bets for Friday?
Yeah, I think I have more action. I guess I'll lead with Friday, in the first game. So we got USC, Michigan State. Obviously, I'm a big USC freak, but the system does point to USC. And I think I got at least 2 of my dads here on that side as well, unless they flip-flopped like a den on me. But I really like USC here. 5 weeks ago, I did not want to watch them in this tournament. They were not playing. I forget his name, but one of their kids went out early in the season. I mean, he's arguably their best player. He had, essentially a mild heart attack, everything that's going on. Not to get into that stuff, but finally started coming back. He's a big impact. Joshua Morgan's playing well. Kobe Johnson's playing well. All these kids that they brought in last year are finally bringing it. And they still have Drew Peterson. And it kind of comes down to him and Boogie Ellis. They're very streaky players, but the way they've been playing and carrying this team, I think they have the bad taste from the loss against Miami. I don't expect them to turn the fucking shit out of the ball as much as they did a year ago. I think they're, here, a lot of, those 2 guys were there during that Elite 8 run. And I think I don't expect them to get back that far unless there's a lot of upsets in front of them. But I know they at least don't want to be one and done this year. I think that would be a major win for the program as they continue to just to build and hopefully one day actually make a deep run and contend with Zona and UCLA. But getting off topic, USC +2 is probably my best bet on Friday.
I think within like 30 seconds of that bracket being, I opened up my phone and you would text on USC. Like, sweet. All right.
Well, I couldn't believe it was Michigan State. And like for everybody, like I love Michigan State. Like when they won the Natty, I don't know, in 99 or whatever it was, like I almost became an instant fan. I just liked the team, fell in love with Izzo. I even thought about going to college there, but I just didn't want to go to Michigan, Detroit. Like, just kind of, I'm a white boy. I wouldn't survive. But no, like I do have an affinity for that team, but I just don't think they're that good this year. They have elements that I think can bother USC, but I feel like the line should be flipped.
This is one of those Michigan State teams where like, it's not like years before where it's like, wow, like I'm scared to see Michigan State in the first or second round. Like this team is beatable. I know you got Izzo, but this isn't the Michigan State we've been accustomed to, 2014, 15, 16, and so forth, who have been, somewhat of a juggernaut in college basketball the last 10 years. But
right.
I mean, it's not a team I would put my money on.
Yeah, I'm a little biased. I went to USC, so when they're good, I like to. When they're good, here's the deal: they're almost never good to bet on. They're never a good cover team in any sport. This year they were in this sport and in football. I have them going to the Elite Eight in my bracket. That's just my bracket because I'm low on Marquette. I'm low on Kentucky. That's all that side. I lean USC. I'm not going to bet it just because. And by the way, someone asked me last night, who's your favorite Big Ten team? And I said, I dislike most of them, but the only one I kind of respect is Michigan State, both in football and in basketball. And basketball has to do with Tom Izzo. I like the way he coaches. Obviously one of the best coaches of all time, but I would lean USC. I'm not betting it, but I can't people disrespect my opinion now about USC because they think I'm a homer. And Hammer Poop knows I bet against them. So
yeah.
I wasn't gonna bet it. I bet it because Kmart loves it. That was enough for me to bet it.
I might sprinkle some on there.
How about we get to the Friday play where we kind of have a little bit of disagreement between the dads that are here?
Let's do it. So I think that game is VCU St. Mary's.
Yeah, I think me and Dave are on different sides here.
And me.
Oh yeah. I know. Me and Kmart are on the same side. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. My third play. I tweeted it out the other night. I'm on St. Mary's -4. I mean, I've been hearing so much. We hear so much about recency bias here, and what's the last thing everybody saw with St. Mary's? Saw Gonzaga shoot fucking lights out against them, right? St. Mary's loses that game by 26. Gonzaga's banging shit left and right, can't fucking miss. But this is St. Mary's team. I'm looking to back. I mean, they play good defense. They can score. They shoot well from 3. Bigger team. They rebound well. They're 24-4 this season as a favorite. That for me is a stat that I can't look past. And not just that. I look a little bit over at the VCU side and I take a peek and I'm like, hey, is this a team I could back? Then I look at their schedule. I don't give a fuck that they've won 9 games in a row. I ran through the list of 9. I ran through the list of their last 9 wins. I figured it out. Me, Kmart, Hazmat, Nelly, and Matt could beat this fucking VCU team. Right? Fade you versus VCU. I make that line fade you -4.5. All right. They have wins versus Davidson, George Washington, Richmond, St. Joe's, Dayton. So they got a good win there. Dayton's a good squad. URI, who's my wife's alma mater, they are absolutely fucking trash too. And Fordham. This is not a team I'd be looking to put money on. They're going up against the big boys this weekend. I think St. Mary's absolutely fucking blows them out. Rest in peace, VCU.
I love the way you said.
Dave, what do you like
this line? -10.5.
I feel bad because I'm always high on St. Mary's. I knew a lot of guys that went there. I watched them because I'm on the West Coast. I follow this conference pretty well. Hammer Poop even went to an LMU game. And when I say LMU, some people don't even know what that is. Loyola Marymount, because there's another one in Chicago or wherever the hell it is, or Maryland or wherever.
Both.
Yeah, there are those the Loyola, and then there is both. You're right. Here's the deal. They got a bad draw with this VCU team, and you talk about take out Gonzaga, and you look at the team rankings on who. And I don't. This is a site that puts it out there, but when you look at the competition, I'd venture to say that VCU had harder competition. You've got BYU on a down year; they beat them. Pacific, which is a fucking awful team. The University of San Diego. I'm not talking about San Diego State. I'm not talking about UC San Diego. I'm talking about the Toreros. This is where my college girlfriend went to because she couldn't get in any other school and she had a lot of money. This is a teeny tiny, crummy little school. Portland is bad. San Francisco's on a down year. Santa Clara is actually on an up year.
San Francisco had a couple good wins this year.
They did, but they're usually a lot better team in my estimation. Yeah, San Francisco's usually a tournament team. But this team lost to Loyola Marymount, and I'll say with VCU, if we're talking about schedules, Dayton, Davidson, St. Louis, those are teams that besides Dayton are having down years, but those are usually really good schools. St. Louis is a good bet on school. But here's the thing for me: when you look at the two teams statistically, defensively. Actually, VCU's numbers are better. Now, we could argue about who they played, but let's just say that's a wash. The thing that VCU has every year that I fade is every time they're a 3-point favorite, I look at the other team because they always play close games. You look this year, they're blowing teams out. They're covering spreads. And not only have they won their last 9, they've won 17 of their last 19. So we could talk about all that, but I say this. Momentum is big. I think St. Mary's pulled one of the worst teams because they're also it's a 5 and a 12, and I think St. Mary's might overlook them a little bit. So I'm on VCU outright. I'm going to be betting them outright, but it sucks.
I just don't see how VCU gets a rebound versus them. I don't.
What are their rebounding statistics?
They do have some big white freaks on that team.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how they get a rebound versus them.
I mean, you guys kind of both took what I would have said out of it, but like VCU, what do you think their record was versus the top 25 this year?
How many teams did they play versus the top
0?
20? Yeah.
Like that's my selling point. I mean, St. Mary's only played 5. 2 of those obviously came against the same school. So it's just more the experience and being there, being in those games. Because honestly, on paper, they're very similar. If you want to go further into it, like, I mean, for whatever reason, Ken Palm has St. Mary's ranked 11th right now, where VCU is 58th. But I kind of side with Joey, where I think this line should be something along the lines of 7.
Yeah, so I made this line. I made this line 6.5, and when I saw 4, I jumped all over it. And that's not like one of those jokes where, like, I say, hey, I make it minus 29. Like I made a minus 6.5, and I was ecstatic to get minus 4. I think it's a gift.
I got minus 3, but it was 3.5, and I bought it down to 3 just because of free throws at the end. You never know.
VCU looks trendy too. I mean, I've seen a lot of VCU tickets, and Dave, you got to admit that's got to scare you a little bit.
No, the nerd just goes off numbers. He says, "Fuck."
So this is the thing. This is one thing that's absolutely not true. People say, oh, first of all, when you look at all these sites have tickets and handle and all that, what books are they covering? Are they looking into offshore? Are they looking into brick and mortar books? I don't care how close they are. I don't look at that. And by the way, I'm a bottom up guy. I make up my mind usually before the books, and I say they're wrong versus saying they're right and working backwards.
I like it.
I don't, and that's not all sports, but that's definitely in college basketball. I will say this: there are the glaring things that scare. St. Mary's did play, and that's something I didn't even think about. Did play top 25 schools, but granted. Neither of these teams. Well, I guess St. Mary's is a top 25, and so is VCU this year, actually, right? How did VCU end up ranked in the top 25? I don't think so.
I didn't see that.
Like beating schools like URI, Fordham, George Washington. I don't think so.
I'm getting ahead of myself because of their ranking, but I'm trying to find doing 15 things at once. I am scared about VCU's turnovers. They turn the ball over way too much, and St. Mary's doesn't. And the rebounding, St. Mary's is actually about average, whereas VCU is a little below average. So I have things to worry about. I just think it's a momentum spot, and I think.
Listen, Dave, the momentum thing is very real. Like, do I wish St. Mary's was on a 9-game fucking run? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
But at least 2 of their losses were against Gonzaga.
Who's in my Final Four. So there you go.
Well, look, it's that recency. But Gonzaga, the last thing everybody saw when they watched St. Mary's was Gonzaga fucking hit everything under the sun on them. Gonzaga couldn't miss in that game.
No, for sure. And there's probably going to be 10 or 15 games this weekend where the line's doing what it's doing, where it seems like there's a lot of tickets on VCU, and yet the line's going the other way. There's going to be lines where that we're going to be okay. That's St. Mary's was the right side. And then there's going to be times when the VCU team where they're getting the tickets and the line's going the other way, and they're going to win outright, like Dave says. So it's just on us to try to pick the right ones because it's going to go both ways,
Yeah, no, definitely. Anybody got anything else? I think I got one more I can give out.
I have one more also after you that I told everyone I would give out as my best bet on the show. I haven't even given it to you guys yet.
I have a total I really like.
Let's get it.
So it's not even that. This is a square ass play, but I still love it. Gonzaga Grand Canyon over, and it's not necessarily because of Gonzaga. It's because of Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon ripped off like 19 overs in a row. I think they only went under like 3 times at home. Granted, this is on the road. At 155, I mean, Gonzaga blows them out, but it could be 95-72. I like the over.
Gonzaga can shoot the lights out, man. I would never play a Gonzaga under.
Yeah.
I have, but the 150, 155. This is the thing. I don't even quite understand it. Are they saying that Gonzaga, who has a non-existent defense, because GCU is such such an underling type of school, that they're not going to score? I mean, 155.5 for 2 over teams. This is a nutty line. Very, very poopy.
Yeah, but their head coach is Bryce Drew.
Yeah,
we all know him. But what do you think they're going to do? And what do you think they do really well? Shoot the three.
Yep.
23rd in the nation. I'm sure most people out there, when they see Grand Canyon, where the fuck is that? It's kind of cool. You can see it on the freeway driving to, Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Yeah.
It's a nice little Christian school, but the past 5 years, I mean, I feel like they've only improved. Like I'm actually really excited to watch them. Hopefully, not get blown out. I mean, I hope they cover. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm gonna be rooting for them to do well, just because it's really cool to see them in the tournament. But yeah, I might get on that over because they can definitely score it.
Just go look at GCU team rankings or cover wherever you go, and look at their over/under results, and everyone is dark black over. I mean, not everyone, but it's just ridiculous.
No.
You don't know now, you know.
Nice.
Don't know.
I'm gonna take a note of that because I'm probably gonna tail CT bets also with Gonzaga. So maybe now I might play Gonzaga and the over.
I like Gonzaga too in a blowout, actually. But
yeah. Kmart, what was your other one, buddy?
Okay. Hopefully it's not yours, but mine's gonna be FAU +2. I think it's 2.5 now. Is that right? Anyway, yeah, it's another one. Usually my system likes, or I guess it leans generally towards faves that just aren't priced well in this tournament. But every now and then, and you guys, saw me last week during conference tourney, I was playing some dogs too, and FAU's lighting up like a Christmas tree. So I'm taking them. I will, if it's 2.5 when I go to buy it or book it, I'll probably take it, but if it's 2, I'm probably just going to play it on the money line. I'm not high on Memphis. Like, I feel like the narrative 2 weeks ago was Penny Hardaway is a terrible coach. They went on a run. They met Houston at a time without their best player. Did Houston even care at that time because Sasser wasn't playing?
And blew them the fuck out.
I don't know. Like, yeah, and they blew them out, exactly. So you're looking at a team that just won their division or their conference tournament, but why is this line only 2? Like, who the fuck is Florida Atlantic?
Yeah,
I think Duke had an opinion there too, right? Didn't you?
I said I lean. Yeah, I said I was definitely looking at that because again, I mean, it goes to like Dave said. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but it just seems like Memphis, it just seems kind of disrespectful to the FAU team. Like 31 freaking wins. We know. I mean,
the worst loss was the Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, they had some, and everyone's like, well, how is this team's not going to keep winning games? And they just kept fucking rattling them off. They're a good team.
They play good offense and defense. I mean, they're in the mid-30s in efficiency.
Yeah. I think I've seen a lot of people have Memphis go kind of far, maybe even who would they end up playing? Would they end up playing like
winner of Duke? Duke would play the winner of Purdue, Texas Southern.
Yeah, so I think even some people like them to be a little darling to knock off Purdue. I don't know. I could see FAU being a little bit of a bracket buster.
You got anything else, dude?
I was just going to go with another first half. This is cool because it kind of I mean, I guess these are full game spreads that this trend. I don't know if you guys saw that Ralph Michaels or his son. He's got a 17-2 trend that goes back like 11 years. It's a team that's won double digits, 3 straight, catching over 6.5 in the first round. Those teams that coming in are Colgate, Vermont, and Iona. So they're all catching over 6 points, and they've all just ran through some competition. It's 17-2. That's a strong. Obviously, I mentioned Colgate.
That's a first half. That's first half or a full game.
No, it's full. It's full. Yeah. But that's why I said it's funny that my Colgate first half, it kind of aligns with that. And then I'm kind of leaning Vermont as well, first half.
I am also leaning Vermont.
Yeah. It seems a little trendy. I don't know. I know, like Dave said, some people are down on Marquette. I don't know how you could be down on Marquette. They look good to me. I mean, they just fucked
blew the doors off Xavier.
Yeah. But again, like you just said, Cheese, what did we just see? They just allowed a Xavier team to score
recency bias. Yep.
So, I mean, the Catamounts, though, again, these teams that are good like this, like Colgate and them, they're those white boys in the Northeast, they can shoot. But if they go, they go cold, Marquette can make a run. So I'm going to take the, 7 or whatever it is, 6.5 in the first half, and just hope they keep that close. And that way, if Marquette blows the doors off them in the second half, but Catamount cock.
Nice.
I'd love Vermont to win that game because when SC beats Michigan State, then it's a little hop over. But I had Vermont in a smash spot their last game when they won. They were playing at home.
Yeah, they're really good at home. That's another concern. They're not at home, but yeah.
All right. Well, I got one that I tweeted out earlier I was going to give out on the show. I haven't even sent it to the boys, and you guys are always the first ones to get my plays. Every day I give them to you first. So yeah, I'm going to the Providence Friars plus 155 on the money line. Ed Cooley's a coach that I want to put my money on. I've faded Providence the last 2 years, and it's absolutely fucking killed me. Not so much this year as last year, but we talk about Providence a little bit. 21-11, crawling into the tournament, lost I think 4 out of 5, 3 in a row. Those 3 losses coming to the national championship, UConn Huskies, Xavier and Seton Hall. But we know, Xavier, they're one of my favorite teams in the Big East also. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of the Big East. I think it's the second best conference in basketball behind the Big 12, and I don't think it's close. But Providence has 5 players who average in double digits. Bryce Hopkins is an absolute fucking problem. The fact that he transferred over from Kentucky, I watched an interview with him last night where, he was saying he couldn't wait to play and, looking to put a beat down on Kentucky. So he came over last season after playing 7 minutes a game for the Wildcats, only averaged 2 points, 1 rebound a game. Comes over to Providence, and everyone knows what he's done here. He averages 16.5 points a game, 9 boards. The kid's an absolute fucking monster. I think between him and Ed Croswell, I think these two could contain Oscar Tshiebwe, who I think is obviously without a doubt the best player on University of Kentucky. I think if you keep Tshiebwe off the boards, guard play from Providence is absolutely filthy. Between Carter, you got Locke, Bynum, and Carter. All 3 guys are solid. This is a spot where I think Providence could win this game. 4 out of 5 starters shoot over 40% from the field. I like that. We know Providence could score. Devin Carter's filthy on defense. I don't see how Kentucky scores enough points to stay in this game. Hopkins to me is the difference maker here, and I think he's out for revenge. I have a play on Providence at plus 155 on the money line. And for what it's worth, I have them advancing quite a few rounds in my bracket also. But yeah, so
you're not doing
Providence plus 155 is a play for me.
Not taking the points at all.
Don't need them.
Don't need them.
All right.
Oh man, that is some confidence. You were big on them in our little bracketology thing, but I mean, you're kind of swaying me. I had Kentucky in my original bracket going pretty deep, but I'm not in love with them. It was just more of, I pick you.
Mhm.
So-
Yeah, dude. Another thing with Providence I really like is they shoot from the free throw line. They don't miss a lot of free throws. I mean, this team they capitalize on the line, getting to the line. Bryce Hopkins led the Big East in most free throw attempts made at 136. Your back door just opened, Kmart. That was sketchy. Right behind you. Like, is the baby walking out in the hallway?
Yeah,
Yeah, it creeped me out because you can't see anyone, but I just know the baby's on the floor.
you're just seeing it.
The wife
the
came.
wife.
The wife came and stole the baby. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a really good spot for Providence here. I'm not high on this Kentucky team. I know they've strung together some wins late in the season. You know, it's you put a different name on the front of that jersey, and this line is not 4.5. All right, it's I think your people are playing this because it's Kentucky here. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my guns and I'm gonna go with Providence here. I'd love to hear everyone's opinion on this game. I really would.
I can't get Kentucky right this year, so I have zero opinion. But that's kind of leads towards it's not the same Kentucky team. Actually, I've done a couple live casts with Kentucky on, and it seems like Calipari doesn't have the same kind of hold on this team as he does with other teams. I'm not saying he's not the same Calipari. It just they do think it's another thing. The game I watched was against Alabama where they got creamed, and I was saying to myself, Calipari is not a coach that'll let guys just shoot threes. Just let them shoot threes and miss. That's what they were doing. And they were also, everyone, including Oscar Schwebe, was just defense was horrible. Anyway, I was seeing things that weren't Calipari-esque, and I was saying that's going to be fixed in the second half, and it didn't. And he said it. So it might be a chemistry thing. It might be something, but I don't hate the bet. I'm not going to bet it, but I'm not high on Kentucky.
Good.
Yeah, it's a team where you like them as a dog, and you sure as hell don't like to lay points. I mean, we saw what happened to all the people that backed Kentucky laying 8 or whatever to Vandy, lose outright. So don't like laying points with them, that's for sure. They're the team that'll win you'll lay 4 and they'll win by 3 just to rip your heart out. So
Providence is another team, like we've talked about it all season. Providence, Marquette, like I don't like backing Marquette as a favorite. Obviously things were different this year, but you know, like Providence is not a team I want to back as a favorite. I want to play him as a dog.
yeah.
I mean, that's been proven now for a couple seasons straight.
And that FAU line is now down to 1.5.
Oh, wow. You look at this, the Fade U Pod moving lines. Oh, so you can hit that guy up on Twitter, Cheese, and say, hey, hey, we moved the line.
Oh man, anybody got anything else before we part?
That's my I mean, I might add some stuff over the weekend, but that's what I got in now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure we all will. That's what Twitter's for. But whoever watches this, watched it. There they are. Good luck if you tail or fade. Wouldn't recommend fading, but good luck if you do. So yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to all of us. You can read. I'm not going to repeat it. And see you maybe Saturday morning.